Peace and blessings, everybody. Love and light, wholeness and health. Peace and blessings, love and light, wholeness and health. Peace and blessings, love and light, wholeness and health. We're going to talk about trust today, y'all. Trust. See what the synonym finally got. We're going to get right off into this. I wish everybody, I hope everybody feeling positive, and invigorated, through this heat. It's been hot lately. Trust. Confidence, faith, certitude, certainty, belief, conviction, assurance, reliance, dependence, security, sureness, assuredness, surety, positiveness, hope, hopefulness, optimism, expectation, anticipation. What is the foundation of your trust? I wrote some things down as usual. I came across a firm belief in the reliability, truth, ability, or strength of something or someone. What do you invest your trust in? It's important. Another meaning I came across was just 3 words: confidence, hope, and faith. What do you place your trust in? One example of trust is me is knowing that the sun gonna rise every day. I never doubt that. I learned any person who could be trusted. Yeah, I learned that any person who could be trusted will not ask you to step out your comfort zone to trust them. I'm gonna say that in another way. If I'm worthy of being trusted, I would not ask you to trust me. Y'all marinate in that. It's something that'll speak for itself. We still talk about trust. See what the seed of the soul got to say. By the way, for those who've been rocking with me, we made it to the last chapter of Seed of the Soul, which is trust. And trust is something that's not only valuable to me personally, but in my system of gnosis, it's very important in anyone's spiritual walk. I ain't talking about your physical day-to-day interaction, but on the spiritual stuff, you're gonna have to be vulnerable and open to be able to trust. I was waking up about probably 3 something a couple times last night, but I remember about 3 something last night, and I had I forgot my cup of mint tea, and I had some mint leaves. I bought me some mint leaves, but I was led to write down some things before I did that, and some of the things that I had wrote down was my higher self said to myself to write down some things. So what I wrote down was, remember to practice being kind rather than being right. And I wrote down, find me where you know I need to be. It wasn't clear to me at the time, but we just, as we move on, it'll be made clear. Then I thought about a precept from the Tao Te Ching that says, fierce winds don't blow all morning. So I wrote down, I get what I expect. I also wrote, trust is knowing that if you're watching this, you're supposed to. You get what you expect. And that trust is exercising my ability to be open to everything, but attached to no things. Trust. There's a big difference between knowing about God and knowing God. Still talk about trust. Spiritual progress is very limited without trust. as I said earlier. So I trust I can use this energy to help us all reach higher levels of understanding and awareness in our personal and collective light and life purpose. Ashe. Now I'm going to read the book. Each soul comes to the earth with gifts. Each soul does not incarnate only to heal and to balance its energy, to pay its karmic debts, but also to contribute its specialness in specific ways. This is one of the ways I contribute my gift. Each soul brings a particular configuration of the life force that it is to the needs of the earth school. It does this with purpose and intention. Before it incarnates, each soul agrees to perform certain tasks upon the earth. It enters into a sacred agreement with the earth, with the universe, to accomplish specific goals. And with that in mind, I'm thinking about because when I woke up, something up with Les Brown was on, but I remember hearing him say, "You got people in the world who think it's their purpose or their business to stop you from being great. You got people in the world who think it's their business to stop you from being great." So you gotta trust your process. You gotta trust what you know. It enters into a sacred agreement with the universe to accomplish specific goals. It enters into this commitment in the fullness of its being. That is why when a soul succeeds in accomplishing its goal and fulfilling what it has agreed to do, there is a richness and a specialness to the lifetime of that personality that is recognized and honored by everybody who sees it, both physically and non-physically. Each soul takes upon itself a particular task. It may be the task of raising a family or communicating ideas through writing, music, transforming the consciousness of a community, such as a spiritual community. It may be the task of awakening the awareness of the power of love at the levels of nations, or even contributing directly to the evolution of consciousness on a global level. Whatever the task your soul has agreed to, find it. Whatever its contract with the universe, accept it. All of the experiences of your life serve to awaken within you the memory of the contract and to prepare you to fulfill it and free yourself from it. All lives matter. An unempowered personality cannot complete the task of its soul. It weakens in an inner sense of emptiness. It seeks to fill itself with external power, but that will not satisfy. This sense of emptiness or something missing or something wrong cannot be healed by satisfying the wants of the personality or the wants of the flesh. Gratifying needs that are based upon lack will not bring you to the touchstone of purpose. No matter how successful the personality becomes in accomplishing outer goals, those goals will not be enough. The money will not be enough. Your spouse will not be enough. The new car will not be enough. Eventually it will hunger for the energy of his soul, the food of his spirit. Only when the personality begins to walk the path that his soul has chosen will it satisfy his hunger. Authentic empowerment and the fulfillment of the soul's tasks upon the earth, therefore, are not separate dynamics. Authentic empowerment is necessary to accomplish fully the mission of the soul. Yet, as you move into authentic empowerment, you move toward the fulfillment of your soul's agreement with the universe. And as you move toward that fulfillment, as you move consciously toward the energy of your soul, you empower yourself. You and the work of your soul upon the earth expand together. As one grows and develops, so does the other. So whatever work I do on myself, the only benefit it can have for me is to myself. If you can learn from that and adapt or apply something that I have did in my life to benefit yours, then and only then can it benefit you. But I can't do the work for you and you can't do the work for me. When a soul incarnates, its memory of the agreement that it has made with the universe becomes soft. it becomes hidden, awaiting the experience that will activate it. These experiences are not necessarily experiences that the personality will choose. They are nonetheless necessary to the activation of the awareness of the power and the mission of the soul within the consciousness of the personality and to its preparation for the task. So everything, what that's saying is everything that you're experiencing now is for the purpose of your expansion. What does it feel like to remember your soul's task? When the deeper part of you becomes engaged in what you are doing, when your activities and actions become gratifying and purposeful, when what you do serves both yourself and others, when you do not tire, we don't get tired, within, but seek the sweet satisfaction of your life and your work, you are doing what you were meant to be doing. The personality that is engaged in the work of its soul is flexible, is buoyant, springy, bounce back. It is not burdened with negativity. It does not fear. It experiences purposefulness and meaning. It delights in its work and in others. It is fulfilled and fulfilling. Interactions with your parents and with those whom you have chosen to share your intimacy, and with those with whom, out of the billions of souls upon our planet, you share parts of your life, serves to activate within you an awareness of who you are and what you are here to do. The pains that you suffer, the loneliness that you encounter, the experiences that are disappointing or distressing, the addictions and seeming pitfalls of your life are each doorways to awareness, enlightenment. Each experience each experience offers you an opportunity to see beyond the illusion that serves the balancing and growth of your soul. Within each experience of pain or negativity is the opportunity to challenge the perception that lies behind it, the fear that lies behind it, and to choose to learn with wisdom. The fear will not vanish immediately, but it will disintegrate as you work with courage. When fear ceases to scare you, it cannot stay. You gotta find somebody else. Martha down the road, Mark down the street, you gotta find somebody else. But it can't stay with you. When you choose to learn through wisdom, to evolve consciously, your fears surface one at a time in order for you to deal with them and exercise your own inner faith. That is how it happens. You exorcise, not exercise, but exorcise. Like you exorcising a demon, you exorcise your own demons. Your guides and teachers continually offer you light. Most times we don't recognize it because we're not open. We too steady stuck in it. We steady stuck in the condition, you see, instead of open to the lesson. So we don't recognize the physical and non-physical help that's always there. They encourage you in each moment to your fullest growth and development. Yet they cannot prevent you from your learning or your growing or your moving through your experiences and letting your experiences influence you. This is so even if you are able to communicate with them consciously and directly. Your experiences will move you right or left, and you will ask your teacher this question or that. If you move left, your question will be entirely different than if you had moved right. And the reality that you open by that question will be entirely different. There is no single optimal path for the soul. It's many branches. Many branches. These are many optimal paths. With each choice, you immediately create numerous paths within the choice, one of which is then optimal. In other words, the optimal path of your soul is the choice of awareness, the vertical path. Once you have made that choice, then come the various forms of enactment, or the various forms of how your lessons will be learned. In that way, therefore, does non-physical guidance serve you. It is a partnership of challenging you to come to terms with the full width and breadth and depth of authentic power and responsible choice. A lot of it's time we ain't in a place where we have anything to blame on anybody else. The only power is in responsible choice. It is not that you give permission to be mindlessly manipulated. It is that you give permission to be shown the fullest of your power and guided on how to use it. Trust. That's why I'm doing this, to help y'all, to help me. When you depend entirely upon the ability of your personality to to determine what is best for you, you may stand in the way of a richness that is waiting for you. How do you know what the universe has waiting for you? If you take off your restrictions. If you are determined to have your life unfold in a particular way and none other, if you have your heart set on using your creativity only to accumulate money, for example, consider that you build your entire reality around that. Probably gonna be working for the rest of your motherfucking life, cause 100,000 ain't gonna be enough. If you get there, then 200,000 ain't gonna be enough if you get there. So it's bondage. The universe cannot help you in the same way that it can help you if you are trusting it, because it cannot overshadow nor penetrate your choice. You create your reality. Yet, what if what you are doing is more appropriately regarded in a social sphere rather than an economic one? In other words, what if the enterprise that you seek to develop is more appropriately a way to an avenue that you have not yet recognized? A bridge. It is now deadlocked because it cannot go down its appropriate path, for you have your own hand on the door that you insist upon opening that will go nowhere. Can you see? I ain't always see it. Let go of what you think is just reward. Let go. Trust. Create. Be who you are. The rest is up to your non-physical teachers and the universe, source, spirit, God, whatever you call it. Take your hands off the steering wheel. Be able to say to the universe, thy will be done. And to know it within your intentions. Spend time in this thought. Consider what it means to say, thy will be done. And allow your life to go in the hands of the universe completely. That's precision steering. Soul control. The final piece of reaching for authentic power is releasing your own to a higher form of wisdom. It is not blind faith, because faith knows what it is doing. Faith is conscious of what it is doing all the time. And if you're operating in this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Long before we as species became aware that there is such a dimension as the realm of spirit or non-physical guidance and teachers, each human being was guided and beautifully by non-physical teachers. All you gotta do is look at our history, our ancestors. They've been in contact. Even though unseen by us, this guidance happened nonetheless in its perfection and in its balance. The pyramids show us this. This is what is happening now. It is just that for the first time, as we become woke, Christ conscious, collective conscious, God conscious, we are aware and can put names with non-physical teachers and have a sense of personal relationship with them. Yet, still it is that what you experience is always appropriate and will always move toward the greatest wisdom of your development and guidance. Remind yourself that you are supported, that you are not going it alone upon the earth. Dwell in the company of your non-physical teachers and guides. Do not discriminate in terms of what you can and should actually speak about. Just assume and live in the beauty of the bond. Do not fear dependency. Co-creativity is trust. What is wrong with being dependent upon the universe, not people, upon the universe, upon source, upon God? Ain't nothing wrong with that. You'll find more problems being dependent upon people than you will in source and spirit and God. Trust me. Universe, whether that is your teachers or divine intelligence, you do what you do for yourself, and the universe and your non-physical teachers and guides are there in assistance. They will never do it for you. It is not possible for them to do it for you. We have free will. Delight in the co-creativity. Delight in the dependency that you got assistance. Give your guides and teachers permission to come closer. You got to invite them in. People want to know things, but people want to know things. And it's those of us that are here to share those things that y'all want to know. But when you reach out to people, make sure you teach them. When you ask for guidance and assistance, simply assume that it immediately is pouring forward. Your help is always near, man. You know, you may need to work a while to relax your mind into receptivity. Or you may need to have lunch or drive into town to do whatever it is that you need to do in order to relax your mind, relax your heart, so you can hear and you can feel. but live in the total assumption that the moment that you ask for guidance, it is coming to you. Try looking at life as a beautifully well-organized dynamic. Trust the universe. All is well. Trusting means that the circumstance that you are in is working toward your best and most appropriate end, towards your highest good. There is no when to that. There is no if to that. It just is. Release your specifications and say to the universe, find me where you know I need to be. Let them go and trust that the universe will provide, and so it shall. Let go of all. Let your higher self complete its task. This ain't easy, I know it, but trust me, it works. Trust yourself. Don't trust me. Trust yourself that it works. Practice makes perfection, and perfection takes discipline. So if you don't apply it, if you don't apply it, because it ain't no trying. So if you don't apply it, you won't know the power of it working for you. But you'll always be able to witness the power of it working for somebody else who applying it in their life. I bet you that. Allow yourself to pray just as the many times human beings find themselves in circumstances where the hurt or the pain is so great that on their own power they cannot forgive. It is enough that they pray to be given the grace, the perception, the elevated light that will allow them to forgive. It is impossible for you to come full circle in this way of empowerment without prayer. You never find people that say they don't pray, but then as soon as you find them in they don't believe in prayer, but then as soon as you find them in a situation, oh God, help me. Y'all better stop, y'all better get right. It is not enough to want or intend. It is not enough to want or to intend or to meditate. You must pray, you must affirm, make affirmations, whatever. You must talk, you must act, you must believe. That is partnership, that's co-creation. Otherwise, what God gonna do for you if you ain't doing something for your if you or source or whatever you believe? What can it do for you if you ain't doing it for yourself and through yourself? It don't work no other way. Think of what you are doing as entering into partnership with divine intelligence. A partnership in which you begin to share your concerns with the understanding that there is an intelligence receptive to what you are saying that helps you create within your own environment of matter and energy the most effective dynamics to bring you into wholeness. Because your haters ain't gonna do it for you. So you gotta love yourself. You gotta love yourself from your soul and feed it spiritually, because spirit is the food of the soul. You do not need to think that you create alone, but rather that you are guided strongly in ways to help co-create in the most effective way for your healing and for the fulfillment of your contract. Consider your intentions and your meditations as part of what is done within the contents of prayer. Be able to say within your intentions and your meditations and not ask for guidance or help, and I expect to get it. Expect to get it. Aside from your level of the responsible choice of energy and how you form that into matter, the dependency upon prayer assists you in pulling to yourself and invoking grace. Prayer is moving into a personal relationship with divine intelligence. Every word we speak is prayer, whether you know it or not. And the moment that came to me, because it's not in the book. If y'all invested a book and invested in one of these books and been reading along through this book with me, y'all will see a lot of things I say is not in this book. I'm just saying things that, Source giving me the words to say to make this book more understandable to y'all. That's part of my gift. But every word we speak is prayer, and once you become conscious of that, you'll be mindful of the things that you say. It is impossible to have a prayer without power. It is impossible to have a thought that is a secret for all energy is heard. I'm going to read that again. It is impossible to have a prayer without power. It is impossible to have a thought that is a secret for all energy is heard. When you pray, you draw to you and invoke grace. Grace is uncontaminated conscious light. It is divinity. Prayer brings grace and grace calms you. That is the cycle. Grace is the tranquilizer of the soul. With grace comes the knowing that what you are experiencing is necessary. It calms you with a sense of knowing. Relax into the present moment. Do what you need to do in the present moment. Yours is not to worry about that which we call future. That does not mean that you do not consider the consequences of your choices. It means to create strongly in the present moment. All you have is now anyway. Do not lose power over the what-ifs of your life. Keep your power in the now, in present time. Keep your power just in this day that you are living, not on how tomorrow will unfold. Use all of your worldly connections, but not out of panic and not out of fear. Do what you need to do on your end. Your choice comes in knowing appropriate timing, clear motivation, and trust. Allow your intuition to guide your timing. Take it inside and ask how you feel and then move forward. Allow yourself to experience what it is to learn step by step. The freedom that comes from being unattached to the outcomes. Operating from an empowered heart. Do not assume that the universe operates like humans, because it does not. Do not insist that the universe complies with your understanding of it. Rather, hold on to the thought that there is nothing without value that exists upon the earth. You may not see it, but that is irrelevant. Live in the trust that when it is appropriate, your pieces will fall into place for you, and you will see it clearly. Trust allows you to call forth your negativities in order to heal them. It allows you to follow your feelings through defenses to their sources and to bring to the light of consciousness those aspects of yourself that resist wholeness, that live in fear, and release them. Feel your intentions in your heart. Feel not what your mind tells you, but what your heart tells you. Serve your heart, the real God. You will not find God in your intellect. Divine intelligence is in the heart. Your interactions with them form the basis of your growth. Allow yourself to experience what you feel and open yourself to other fellow human beings. The physical body is soothed and invigorated by the energy of the heart, and torn by lower frequency currents of anger, rage, fear, and violence. When you treat another harshly and distance yourself from your heart, you distance yourself from your heart, and it is you that suffers as well as the other. Treat yourself kindly at the same time. Become aware of what you feel and the dual effects or the lack of it. Become aware of the damage that you do to your own body through your thoughts and thoughts about others. Challenge your fears. Transformation of self is what causes you to want to disengage from the present situation and reach for another. When you feel that you're in a pattern of wanting what you do not have instead of what you do have, or a pattern of seeing the grass on the other side, you must confront that. Challenge it. Go for the root of all situations as you work to pull the root up. Look at the positive side, that there is something spiritually profound at work. Be mindful of the words that you use and the actions that you live and who you are and how it is that you use your power. What you say. Truth allows the experiences of bliss. Awakeness is a blissful state, not a painful one. It is bliss. It is fully balanced and in love and harmonious. It is all of these things and more. The vertical path being clarity, not pain. Trust allows you to laugh. You can just as easily laugh and play while you grow as become seriously and overwhelmed. Spiritual people see from the perspective of the impersonal, and they help each other see from that perspective as well. They can laugh at the hurts as well as the things to laugh about, and that is enough for them to build a firm foundation from it and show others. And that it's my vacation time, but I'm gonna see what I'm led to do. I wish y'all peace and blessings, love and light, wholeness and health. Trust process, man. Salute to God.